Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CB27 Progress Update. For those of you who missed the announcement, we have obviously pushed back CB27. They'll be coming out, we're aiming it at next week. And the reason for this is obviously we wanted the DreamHack players who qualified for the event to have a stable environment to practice on without a whole lot of changes coming in, because we have a lot of changes coming.
Yes, we have a lot
of changes coming.
But most of them should be very good improvements that
Sure.
people should enjoy. So not the type of changes where we radically alter the game.
Right.
Maybe slightly.
In some cases, but a lot of it's, just benefits and things just getting polished and cleaned up in a way that, that system gets simpler or it's a little bit easier to understand, or we just made it more accessible.
Let's get into it.
All right. What do you want to talk about first? The King?
Show a little King just to start off.
A little King action. For those of you who are watching, we did release a video earlier today teasing out the newest champion to join Paladins. He will be in CB27. His name is BombKing. He is the king of bombs. He himself is a bomb, and he has a lot of bombs.
Excellent. Let's see what he does.
Are we going to bring him up on screen?
Let's see what it does, yeah.
Hop him up on that screen there. We'll see. So there's the BombKing. See if I can, I don't know if there's any sound going right now. Maybe there's no sound. Is there sound? Aha.
Ooh, I heard him a little bit.
BombKing.
There you go.
So there's the BombKing. Look, got a little like Iron Giant feel going on in there, Superman. So this is BombKing. He is a blaster. Very good at doing AoE damage. We can kind of go ahead and pop into a practice match really quick and show a little bit of what he does. Maybe I can't do a practice match. Maybe I can't do any of these. Oh, wait for it. This will come back. This is a bug we're having. So yeah, we're working on a lot of things, including BombKing.
BombKing.
Gonna bring that up. I think I should have to restart it. So if you saw the teaser video for him, he does have a lot of bombs. So that's kind of like why he is the BombKing, is he has kind of a lot of bombs in his kit. Then they all do different things, and so he's really focused on that. But he himself is a bomb, so he eventually turns into a bomb and blows people up.
Which I'm sure you'll show at some point soon.
At some point soon, when this works.
Hey, are we talking about the soldier guy also?
What soldier guy?
I guess not. I thought it was coming out about the same time.
No, he's not.
Oh, it's not?
Mm-mm.
Is that like a week or two later?
Yeah, he'll be coming after.
Okay.
Pretty shortly after. So I'm loading up this game here. Now, one thing we could talk about is there's some rumors about specialty cards.
Well, specialty cards got a slight overhaul in this particular version.
Okay.
And basically the overhaul was that they were removed.
Right. It's a great overhaul. Or underhaul or...
Yeah. And maybe it's worthwhile just explaining a little of the reasoning behind that. So currently, when we looked at how people played, people generally picked one specialty deck and pretty much played that all the time.
Right.
Very rarely switching between actual specialties. And that's because most specialties, or most classes, ended up having some kind of specialty that's stronger than most others. And people would stick with that. We were somewhat concerned with that, and it seemed like that was the case at the end. So what we decided to do is incorporate a lot more of the elements that are in specialty cards right into the class kits.
Right.
So those things are available to you more frequently, and then have the cards generally enhance your overall gameplay style.
Sure.
So I think we get more variety out of it, and makes the characters more interesting.
Yeah, part of what was happening too is since you had to choose a specialty, that kind of defined what your deck did no matter what you did, right? So once you had the specialty selected, you had to kind of amplify that in order to make a good deck. But by removing specialty cards, now you kind of pick and choose the values that you really want to amplify on your character, and you can actually make more decks out of it. The variety actually goes up with it.
So we can probably show some examples of that, but looks like you got BombKing back on.
I got the BombKing back on.
So let's switch over to the screen, and you can show them a little of the BombKing. And then we can go back to the specialty cards and the way they work out.
So you can see immediately that he does have his own bombs. The bombs themselves are sentient, so they will talk, make faces, kind of screech when they go around. They're very happy to blow up BombKing's enemies. It's one of his favorite things to do. So this is BombKing. The bombs he's holding now are his most favorite bombs. Those are the sticky bombs. And so when you throw them, they'll stick to a wall. Actually, even throw it down here, you can see. They're really, really focused. They're looking for the next enemy. They're ready to blow somebody up. And so that's his main weapon. If you right-click, you'll detonate all active sticky bombs. So really, his primary way to fight is to stick bombs onto surfaces, or onto enemies, or onto payload carts, or onto ceilings and grounds and everywhere, wherever he sees fit, and then blow them up with the detonate. So you will hear them kind of fly. You'll hear them stick to a wall. So there's a lot of warnings that there are sticky bombs nearby. In fact, if I throw it up, I think you'll hear it. You can they'll screech as they go around, like little faces there. So if you throw on an enemy, it will stick to the enemy. So you'll be able to kind of stick to enemies and let them run around while you blow them up.
And actually, with our new system, instead of having a specialty card, you do get bonus damage out of sticking multiple.
That's right.
To an enemy. So the way you want to play them is if you can stick more bombs to an enemy before detonating them, you get more damage out of it.
Correct. So let's go over the Q really quickly. Let me take her out. I'm going down. So the Q is his grumpy bomb. So each one of the bombs has a certain personality and a certain kind of tone to it. So his grumpy bomb is his Q. It's his biggest bomb. It's also his angriest bomb. So the grumpy bomb does not like to be thrown into the world. So if you kind of hop off here and throw the grumpy bomb, it gets angrier and angrier and angrier, and then it'll blow up. What will happen there is the bomb doesn't move, but after the delay where he builds up and explodes, he'll do a large stun and some damage to everybody around him. So it's a really great zoning tool. You can throw it on the point, and as it builds up in anger, enemies either have to clear out, or if they get hit by the stun, which, you know, if you're being chased by someone, let's say someone was chasing me down here, I can throw it down in the corner, and as they round the corner, the grumpy bomb will explode, stunning them, and it stuns for a long time. It's over 2 seconds right now, so players can get caught out. It's a really good combo situation if you have your own, you know, let's say you had 6 sticky bombs in this corner, you can really kind of lead people into a trap as they come to chase you, then you just blow them up. So a lot of damage there.
And a lot of times that particular bomb gets used for 2 big purposes. One is to clear out a zone, if you want everybody to move out of there like a capture point, for example. Right. And also, if people have a lot of shields up, it's going to help you out more.
So you really get through that. Actually, the grumpy bomb actually won't bounce off shields. It'll go behind shields as well, so it'll build up and kind of scatter out those shields.
Yeah, so it'll go through it.
That's right.
Shields.
His F ability is called Poppy Bomb, so every one of his abilities is a bomb, including his ultimate. So Poppy Bomb, what Poppy Bomb does, when you pull out Poppy Bomb's a little bit unstable. So he's kind of the crazy bomb, the couple nuts and bolts loose on him. So when you throw him, you see he's kind of like, he's kind of wicked, he's kind of freaking out a little bit here. You got the bombs there kind of ticking. And then when you detonate him, which you can detonate with the same right click, there's a big knockback associated with. So you can throw it on the ground, you can jump and throw, or you can throw it on the ground in front of an enemy and knock them away and kind of play with it that way. So it's really easy to kind of throw it out into the area, kill there, or just knock people into your grumpy bomb, which is really the biggest thing, right? So you can throw the grumpy bomb as they run away, throw the pop bomb, you knock them back into it, and they get stunned. So there's a lot of combos and synergies there, and obviously the more sticky bombs you get to on a single target, as Erz mentioned, you get bonus damage on that. So there's a lot of really easy ways to get some damage going.
Now, people probably notice different type of numbers showing up above people's heads. It's actually not a new treatment for numbers. That is something new when you have bonus damage or combo damage.
Right.
You end up getting a different type of display for it. In his case, you're seeing it more frequently because if you're attaching multiple bombs to target before detonating it, because you're getting bonus damage out of that, that shows up as a different kind of number.
So if for every bomb after the first that hits somebody, it does bonus damage, and you'll see that number kind of pop up on the screen there with that little splash. And actually, all the characters will have some way to trigger this bonus damage in their kit, and a lot of it comes from their previous specialty cards. So for example, someone like Cassie, where she used to be able to roll and deal damage for her first shot after rolling, that's now part of her kit in general, so you'll see that number appear when you're playing Cassie overall.
Right.
And so we go on to his ultimate. Since his name is BombKing, his ultimate is called King Bomb. And so since he does have, you can see on his head there, he does have a wick. He himself is a bomb. He's just the king of all bombs. And so his ultimate, what'll happen, if we open the gate and get a little space there, he will turn himself into a bomb and roll into his enemies and blow them up. Gotta wait for this gate to come down. Probably better if I just do it to blow people up instead.
Yeah. Go blow up a few.
Go find some enemies. So that's the overall kit for BombKing. Like I said, if you get multiple stickies on one person, you can get some bonus damage per sticky after the first, so you really get some kind of combo damage there. He's really good at setting up ambushes, so you can stick a lot on the wall here. And as someone comes around the corner, you throw a grumpy bomb, try to run away, and then you throw the poppy bomb, and boom. There it goes. You get some damage out there. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. goes.
No, you can have more than, I think 6 sticky bombs the most.
That's right.
And the oldest one explodes if you, does it explode?
It does. So I'm
It
going to throw
explodes if
6
you
here on the
use
wall.
7.
So there's 6. That's my ammo count. If I throw another one, the least recent one will explode. And I can only have 6 out at one time. You also notice that when I throw this on the wall, there's a lot of ambient noise going on there, so if you're an enemy and you're wondering if you're about to get blown up, because these can do a lot of damage if there's a lot of them in one place. They're lit up. You can see this as an enemy. They are team colored as well, so there's a lot of information on your screen and also in your ears when you're playing, saying, hey, danger, there's a bunch of bombs coming by.
Now, a couple other things to notice. If you use your movement ability, it cleanses the bombs just like any other crowd control.
That's
so
right.
if you have 3 bombs on you and you do a movement ability, those bombs will be removed. Also, players can shoot bombs, and you can shoot bombs off of a person if you want, and you can shoot bombs off walls. So there's a few ways to clean them up.
You saw the big stun there. So yeah, I mean, if you're stuck a bunch, certain characters, if they have melee attacks or something close range, or they can self-damage themselves with explosions, they'll knock the bombs off themselves. If there is a friendly teammate nearby, they can shoot you and knock all the bombs off of you. So there's a lot of team play that goes around, you know, defending a teammate who just got stuck by a bunch of sticky bombs. And like you said, if you're casting, you dodge roll, all your bombs that are on you will fall off. So you can use the movement ability to knock all the bombs off yourself if you feel like you're stuck. And that's BombKing. One thing we can show now, I want to show like a Cassie, for example. Right, so previously Cassie had a card called Exaction, which after you roll, your first shot will deal bonus damage. So if I roll here and I shoot, you see that number was all lit up in red. That means that I get that bonus there. So if I look for another one. So that card is now just part of her kit. That card has been reworked. And so one thing we should mention, especially cards, we haven't removed any cards from the game in this patch. All the cards that were there before are going to continue being there.
Maybe you want to show the
airborne?
Both the case screen and the cards selection to give
I don't know if
people.
it's going to crash or not. Hopefully not.
Oh,
there it is. Okay, so this is the new case screen showing off the abilities. You can see that on dodge roll, the damage of your next shot is increased by 50%. Okay. So I roll, I get the bonus damage. And you'll get that basically all the time. That's just part of your character. As shown by the case screen here, you'll see it on the dodge roll. You get the bonus damage. So some really cool things going in there. One thing I can mention as well, you know, someone like Pip, for example, you used to be able to have to pick up a card called From Above, which would make you, would allow you to shoot while jumping. Now you can just do it as much as you want. So that's just part of the character now. That card has been reworked to be something else. So all the cards, you just get basically about 42 new cards added to the game. To make things a little bit more interesting, but also making sure that the characters are more consistent when you're fighting them. So you know that no matter what, Pip can always shoot while he's in weightless. One cool thing we added too is that when you press weightless, it jumps automatically the first time. It's just a help.
And on cast, you do get bonus damage if you do a disengage and then shoot them all in the air.
That's right. That's right. So that's in there as well. So if you knock someone away and they're in the air and they haven't touched any surfaces yet, and you hit them while they're flying away, you will deal bonus damage as well.
And if you do a roll and that, you get even more damage, right?
Correct. Yeah, if you do both, you get more damage than you would individually. Who's another character we can talk about? Barik. Right, so Barik previously, Barik's actually had a lot of adjustments here. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, he's got a blunderbuss now, which is doing shotgun damage. But previously, you had to get a card that would say, you know, to get 2 turrets out, right? You needed that card in order to have it. So what we've done was we've brought the cooldown down on the turret since that card no longer exists. Barik's actual combo there is if a turret hits somebody and you hit them right after, you'll get bonus damage. So there you go. My shotgun does bonus damage there. Run away. We're also adding in these indicators to show you where your turrets are. Nice quality of life thing there. Try and keep my turret alive so I get a second one down. So by default, Barik now will always be able to have 2 turrets out on the ground, and then the cooldown you got from double time is just rolled into it. So now I have 2 turrets. This is just part of the character. Nothing extra.
And his shield is not quite as strong as it used to be.
Right, it got brought down a bit. There are still cards to buff it up. But, you know, what this allows us to do as well is kind of just balance the game outside of the specialty cards, right? So it just makes the characters at default pretty effective and then bounce around that. This is Eevee's combo. She stays in Ice Block. There's a little Frost Radius that builds out. It's kind of like Frigid Field, one of her old cards that got reworked. So there's that. Some rework to the end of round stuff. A lot of polished things going in. Okay, so we can probably end the game here. Maybe. Then we can hop into the menu and kind of show off what changes were made to the cards, what some of the new cards are, what the menu looks like, and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if this is going to... BombKing cannot stick bombs to allies. Someone who just asked that question. So you
normally you want those kind of things to go through allies.
Right.
So if you're standing behind the shield or Fernando or something, you don't want it to start sticking on the allies.
Right. Yeah, we were considering early on to just allow you to do it so that you could throw it onto like a Grover or a Buck and have them jump into the fight and you could deliver the bombs free.
Yeah.
But we felt like it was just too much confusion.
It's actually easier to just throw them into the fight.
That's right.
Than to throw it on a person. But you could stick them to things like the payload area, and it moves along with it and will explode it on people.
That's probably one good thing to mention as well. We did do an update to the payloads. The payload will be writable now. This is a big thing that we were working on for a while. We wanted to get it out there. So, Barik can put turrets on the payload as it's going along. You can stand on it as Kinessa and snipe people as you're going along. So you can ride the payload now. And along with that, so can the sticky bombs. So you can kind of tuck them in the corner of the payload and wait until it goes into the enemy base. And when they turn around, just blow them up.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
For the most part, you want to stick them to people.
Yes. That guarantees the crit combo.
Yeah, he's all about sticking a bunch of bombs to people and then right-clicking them before they decide to do a movement ability or something to remove them.
Or
and
have a
you get a lot of
teammate knock them
damage, which makes it a lot more fun.
Yep. So we can go ahead and look at some of the cards here on my screen. If you look at some of the cards, so obviously there are now there's no specialty cards in the game. You can see I flipped through, there's no specialty card frames or anything like that. So you look at cards that were previously specialties, they have been reworked. So we didn't remove any cards from the game. There it goes. So you look at this, you can see Double Time used to give you 2 turrets. He now has that by default, so you don't have to worry about putting that in your deck anymore. That's just on all the time. And now you'll be able to do Rocket Boots, moves faster with Double Time. There's a question asking whether Pip can deal damage to himself and knock the bombs off. He can. So anyone that can deal self-damage, they can shoot the ground, Drogos, Pip, even BombKing himself. If you can damage yourself in some way or do an AoE blast around yourself, you'll be able to knock the bombs off yourself as well. So there's a lot of ways to remove them if you're paying attention. And then Failsafe, which previously was Inflame, which now have been removed, and now you get kind of bonus for Rocket Boots. You can see that all these cards are still in the game, and we didn't change these cards functionally from your inventory or where what you own as a player. And so if you owned Double Time before, we didn't make a new card. This is still the same card, we just reworked it, and so you will still have the new Double Time loading to the game. So like I said, there's about 42 to 45 new cards that got reworked from old specialty cards, and if you own those cards before, you'll log into the patch and you'll immediately have a whole bunch of new cards to play with. Right off the bat, you won't have to earn them or craft them in any way. And then, so, yeah, if you look at like Cassie, for example, if you look at the cards here, Blast Shower used to be a specialty. It's not anymore. Now it just lowers the cooldown of Blast Shot. If you look at, let's see, here, this was Exaction. This now gives you bonus lifesteal on your first shot after rolling. This used to be Big Game. Now it gives you reduced disengage when you hit someone who's in the air. All that kind of stuff. So all those cards got reworked and put together. Let's see, what else is there to show? Yeah, so Barik now has a blunderbuss. One of the reasons we want to change this is mainly because Barik has he had a lot of range before, but really he's kind of the stand-in-place defensive character with his turrets and his shield. He wanted his weapon to match that. So, obviously, paying attention to some of the feedback the community had and the competitive community had about Barik and how he plays overall and what he brings to the fight. We want to make some adjustments to him to make sure that it amplifies what he's good at and then kind of peels away the things that made him a little bit too well-rounded.
So another element that we've changed in this patch is headshots.
Headshots, that's right.
Why don't you explain a little on that?
So I'm going to hop in here and I'm going to play Kinessa. So what we did is, one of the things we noticed, especially on some of the hit scan or, instant fire weapon characters is a lot of times it felt kind of weird to not have a headshot availability. And we kind of put this in through cards before, but we finally spent the time to actually do true headshots to allow you to do it. So when you're playing, Kinessa or instant fire characters, you'll notice a difference in the way they fire and how accurate they are. They're actually pinpoint accurate now, so it takes a little bit more skill to hit. But because of that, we added in a new, oh, there's a sneak peek at the loading screen. That's not done yet. But you'll notice that like immediately you'll be able to kind of hit people in the head. We also made some adjustments to Kinessa's scope, make it a little bit easier to see your periphery.
Unlike top of body, where we had headshots, kind of quote unquote before, these are true headshots.
That's right. You have to hit him in the head. So wait for this to open here as we get in. The bot's going all crazy and having fun. So yeah, you can see the Kinessa's scope already. We did actually add some transparency to the sides of the scope, so you have a little bit more viewing. So if Grover was a danger to me, I would be able to see him right now. Just makes it a little bit more available for her. We also made it so Kinessa doesn't lose accuracy when she jumps while she's scoped. Because she is scoped, she has that accuracy there. You can now do jumping headshots with Kinessa. It's a little bit more of that, if you're looking to make that montage, you can now do it with Kinessa. But as I go out here and start shooting at the enemies, you'll notice right away that I have to be right on the body of the enemy, and I can't hit them in the head for extra damage. So, with the change to the scope and the way the instant fire hits, it'll be a lot more rewarding as a player to be able to hit these. So I can hit him in the head there. See, that's a headshot. That's another headshot. Doing crazy damage. So one thing I should mention as well, Kinessa also obviously lost all of her specialty cards. One thing we added in for her is that if you hit someone with a charged full shot, and you hit him again with another full shot, the damage keeps going up. So as long as you're fully charging your shots and hitting targets without missing, you'll get increasing damage on your next fully charged shot. So it has to be fully charged shots, but again, there's a headshot, it's a fully charged headshot, there's another headshot.
And in the new version, when you do get a headshot, the color and the treatment of the number will be a little different. So in this one, it's not quite in there yet, but it will be in the new version.
Right. We also did go through and update some of the abilities that previously just didn't have a whole lot of damage. The damage we felt helped kind of register with you that you made a successful hit with something, so like net shot from Buck, things like that. But the beams here from Kinessa will now deal a little bit of damage, so you know that they are affecting someone through the wall. You get a little bit more notification there. So you see, like, if I shoot next to them, I don't really get the hit anymore like I used to. I have to hit them directly in the body, and I can hit them in the head as well. So a little bit more accurate, a little bit more reliable. If I hit them right there, there it goes. So hopefully that improves Kinessa a lot. We're looking at a lot of things for her, but I can see if I can ride the payload. I'm on the payload, and no one's going to stop me. So now you can ride the payload. The payload should function a lot better now. We did a lot of updates to the tech on the way it functions, the way it moves. It is the same size right now. We are looking at different sizes for the payloads, and obviously some adjustments to the maps where we feel it's necessary. But we do want to be able to let people. If I was Barik right now, I could put a turret on it.
It will be increased in size, though.
Yeah, we are looking at different shapes and sizes for the payload cart. Make that a little better. Man down. Okay.
You probably want to show the treatment for the burn cards when you go back into
the glow.
Yeah.
So this is the new burn card menu. You notice I already do have Haven. We have added in support for auto purchase burn cards, and then we'll have that per character. So whatever we recommend as being the best burn card set, it'll automatically purchase this. You can turn this off in the settings menu to be able to kind of remove it. We did rework this menu as well for loadouts and burn cards, so it's a little bit easier to kind of see your decks and what's going on. Notice there's no specialty here. I can make a deck of any 5 cards I want for Kinessa. And then on the burn card menu, you can see that you kind of select several burn cards, line them up, and purchase them all at once with a reminder to pick them. It tells you how many credits you have remaining if you were to buy all these cards together. And of course, I can remove these by clicking on them and pick a different burn card, load them up, and then I can hit purchase. And now I got myself a nice set of burn cards if I were in the spawn room.
Now there's also change with the burn cards for the direct shots versus explosive.
That's right. It won't let me. It won't. I have to die again in order to do that. Let's round's about to end. So let's see what that looks like.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. So what we're mentioning, of course, is slow motion. If you look at the burn cards, Blast Shield and Haven. These were a little bit hard to understand when to pick them, who to pick them against, and what they were good at. So what we've done is we've actually gone through the entire game and labeled all the abilities and weapons as either area of effect or direct damage. So the blast shields will protect you against area of effect abilities and attacks. Haven will protect you against direct attacks. So you look at someone like Kinessa, if I snipe someone, that's obviously a direct hit. But if I was Pip and hit him with the explosive flask or something like that, that counts as AoE damage. And so if I was up against, let's say the enemy team was like a BombKing, a Pip, a Drogos, maybe 2 other AoE characters, I would definitely want to get Blast Shield because that would protect me against most of their damage, which is area of effect. But if it was, say, a Cassie, a Ruckus, a Kinessa, a Grover, I'm definitely going to want to pick up Haven to get that direct attack damage down.
Right. Also with burn cards, it takes a little bit more to get them now than it used to in the current patch.
Right.
And they're a little bit less powerful than they used to be.
Right. So we brought down the values here. You can see a lot of these are kind of brought down, so a little more supportive rather than game-changing. You can still deal double damage to shields, do anti-healing on hits, but some of the stuff was brought down. How you earn credits was obviously, a lot of players had a surplus in the last patch, so we adjusted some of the prices of some of these to make sure that you're getting the most valuable ones for more. Like Deft Hands is obviously a very powerful burn card, so it's about 500 versus the other 200-300 cards.
I did see some questions about the headshots. Headshots are not just for Kinessa.
That's right.
They do work with most of the characters that have hit scan type weapons, and I think we're even going to put them on some projectile based ones, and they do require the head. So you can play Sky, for example, and shoot for the head to get that additional damage.
That's
or
right.
Soldier or anybody else like that.
Anybody that has an instant direct shot, so I can do it with it's moving too much. Androxus has his dashes by default. He should have 3 dashes by default. He doesn't need that card to pick up 3 dashes. That got rolled into his character. Looks like that's not. No. Should be working on him. Looks like it's not working right now. Ah. But a lot of cleanups there. You did see it on Barik that we had that little indicator there. See in the kill cam, you'll see he has a little indicator over his turret, so he knows where his turrets are. We're adding that tech in for this patch as well. You also saw a little bit of the loading screen when we came in.
Now, why is it especially good now to kill enemies that have a 5 streak or more?
So if you look on the scoreboard, you'll see people have a lot of streaks. We did add in a benefit to this patch that for someone who has a 5 or more kill streak, for every kill they have after that 5, they'll charge your ultimate more aggressively. So
if you remove that,
if you
enemy
kill them
player.
and shut them down. So if let's say Barik has 12 right now on the kill streak. If I killed him and shut him down right now and removed his kill streak, I would get 10% charge on my ultimate for every kill after 5, which would be 7, which means that if I killed him, I'd get 70% ultimate charge.
Right. So shutting down very powerful players can give you a nice ultimate boost.
That's right. On top of the bounty you were getting for credits. So you're obviously getting that benefit for you and your team. Let's see if we can't clear some of these people out. I'm going to go ahead and go there. They're not even paying attention. I'm going to clear them out so they don't stop us anymore. There we go. You can see a lot more. Oh, this is theirs. So much for that. So this kind of thing right here, where you see we get stuck, we are looking at the maps and evaluating how those maps look and work. So that is coming in future updates. We don't have any information to share.
We don't have information to share in the short term, but the next biggest change that you will see in the game is around maps.
Correct.
And that should hopefully be in and around a month from now, where we're making some very significant revisions to the way that the maps work, and hopefully they will feel much better afterwards.
That's the goal. Take this guy out. I'm having too much fun shooting people, and they're not even real people.
Where's his head?
It's that giant thing on top of him. Are you talking about Ruckus?
No, the tree.
Oh, the tree. It's his head. So every character will have their own head. In fact, Ruckus's head should be the goblin inside of the mech, so it's not technically the top of him.
Really?
So we kind of made some adjustments to make sure that the heads are really
that's not
accurate.
fair. How do you
to
hit
the
him from
character.
behind then?
You don't.
You can only hit Ruckus from the front?
He's protected from behind. He's in a mech.
Oh my god, that sounds OP.
He's a crazy little guy. Who else can we show? Just chat any questions around things that changed for certain characters. If you look at Drogos, you play him. His card Rain of Fire is now rolled into his character, so right after thrusting, I'll be able to deal bonus damage for a short period of time. That was one of his old specialty cards that's just in his character now. And one of the specialty cards he had before is if you hit the fire spit as it's flying, then you do a big knockback. That's now part of his character by default. So again, a lot of these specialty cards just rolled into the character, giving you that depth right off the bat, and then you can kind of amplify that with different decks that you pick up for your character. You see Rain of Fire is still a card. It doesn't give you damage anymore. It'll give you a booster, saving fuel on booster right after you thrust. So all these cards got reworked, and you'll still own those, which is pretty sweet. Let's see if I can get this guy from far away. So if I fly away, there's crit damage. You see the number kind of appearing on top, a little bit bigger there, just because I did it right after jumping up. All right. Don't know if this is going to work. I'll try this one. This might. Yeah, that crashed it. All right, let's bring it up to cameras. So we are still working through a couple things. Obviously, the patch isn't ready yet. We got a couple things to sort out.
This will definitely be one of the largest patches that we've made, only
Yes.
because obviously we've had to wait some extra time due to DreamHack. We didn't want to release a patch right before the tournament takes place.
Right.
And we're just waiting for that. Now, we're still gearing and trying to get the patch out next week.
That's right. We're aiming for next week.
So it will be up for DreamHack, but it shouldn't affect the people playing at DreamHack.
Because they'll be at
since they'll
DreamHack.
already be in DreamHack.
That's right.
And they will be playing on the older version. But we will try to get it out for everyone next week. If that doesn't work, then it'll be for sure the week after. But that's our plan currently.
Cool. Do we have any questions from chat at this point? Anything you guys are dying to see?
Oh, Fernando's got a cool thing. Somebody was asking about that with his fireball goes through multiple people now, right?
That's right.
And the more people that the fireball hits, it does additional damage. So if you can just line them up right,
That's right.
you can do some enormous amount of damage.
So
to
the fireball does double damage over the last hit for every secondary target after the first. So the first one will do 300 damage, the second one will do 600, 900, 1200, 1500. So if you can hit 5 people in a row, you'll deal 1500 damage to the last target, which almost kills a Cassie outright.
Right.
But it's a very, very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, that's almost impossible, but
Very hard.
somebody may get it once, and we'll
Yep.
see.
You cannot headshot chickens. That question came up.
Oh, you should be able to headshot chicken.
We can
A
work on
chicken
that.
should just be a headshot.
Just a floating head, just a head jumping
no,
around.
I'm saying if you hit a chicken, that should just be naturally a headshot.
Because he's just a head.
I like that.
Okay.
Let's write that down
All right.
because that might be a good extra little thing for. Because a chicken looks pretty much like a head,
It's just a head with legs.
and it's certainly yes, exactly. It's a head with legs. The card does stop when the enemy's above it now, right? Did we fix that?
We're actually working on that today, so we're hoping to have that in the patch.
Okay.
That hasn't been fixed just yet, but
Should be
it's
in
on the
soon.
list to fix up.
We are going to be changing also the way that you buy skins.
That's
I
right.
believe.
Yep. So we're going to make it so skins will be directly purchasable if you're looking for some. We have a bunch of, for those of you who saw the leak of the kind of Vampire Slayer Cassie and a couple other skins, those are in the works. We have those available, but the skins you know now for weapon skins and for character skins will allow those to be purchasable for either gold for the lowest tier, or crystals only for the higher tiers. So if you've really been dying to get that skin, you're not going to get it out of a chest, or you feel like you're not going to, you're not getting lucky with the drops, you can, kind of purchase those directly. We'll keep them in the chest as well, so you'll be able to, as you're leveling up and getting those kind of radiant chests, you'll have a chance of getting them for basically free if you're just playing, but you can buy them if you really want.
But there will not be any random crafted
That's right.
skins.
The crafting is going away. You just directly say, I want that skin, and here's the currency I'm going to spend on it, and you can get it.
New maps. First, we're actually making revisions to the existing maps.
That's right.
That's the first pass, and then new maps will be released after that. But the revisions are fairly significant, so
Yes.
they will feel like new maps in most of the situations.
Yeah, so we obviously looked at some of the way the game plays early on in beta. We really wanted to hone in that kind of open world, wide space gameplay. Evaluating that, we feel that there's definitely better shooter gameplay we can kind of craft out of those. And so we've taken a big hard look at those maps and making adjustments on those. And we're hoping to have some information to share in the coming month. Raptor Mount would be awesome.
I'm sure there'll be more mounts coming. We do have a whole bunch of people working on a variety of skins, so
Yep.
they should be coming out soon.
A lot of cool skins.
But again,
There's one with,
game,
there's one
gameplay
with
is
Buck
still
in like
what we're trying to finish up.
like a hitman Buck with a suit and
Oh,
sunglasses.
that's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's a new skins coming there. Someone asked, is there a range to the detonate on BombKing? No, you can detonate them across the map. Do his own bombs hurt him? Actually, BombKing has the highest self-damage out of any of the bombs or explosives in the game. That's mainly because he can control when they blow up. And so, obviously one of the counters to BombKing is just, even if you're stuck, is just get really close to him because he deals just about half damage, which is very, very high for self-damage on explosives.
Right.
And that's just so that since he has control over it, it's really his fault if he blew him up on himself. That's one of the ways you can kind of counteract him because he's definitely one of the more damaging characters in the game, and that's because it's kind of hard to line up some of the stickies in the right spot or keep them on people. So it takes a lot of planning and forethought to get that right. So we wanted a high reward for that risk, but also some inherent risk that makes it easier to counter.
People want Lori, but I have no idea who she is.
I don't know who's Lori.
I don't know.
They want her really bad.
Okay, maybe we'll have to add some Lori to the game.
I guess so. No AoE headshots. No, right now it's only for hit scan weapons like Kinessa's sniper rifle or Androx's revolver, something like that. Something that hits instantly when you shoot.
We got Lori coming.
Lori's coming. Don't worry about it. Evolve did not get built into Frando's kit, but we made a lot of adjustments to his shield, lowering the cooldown by a lot, increasing the health on it, so it's a little bit more useful, and then adding some kind of protective cooldown mechanics in there to make sure he can use the shield more often. We feel that Frando has the highest health pool in the game right now.
I like
we
that.
want to keep it
we
that
can
way.
Make a character called Lori.
Lori, the character.
Yeah.
And add it to the game.
Add it to the game. So
Done.
then Lori will be part of the game, and
Put a little
it will no longer be a
little
question.
tilde over the E. Just call it
Yeah.
Lori. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
New
Lori
character
added the
name.
game.
Thank you for the new name.
Oh man.
We still do not plan to build in support-only classes.
Pure healers.
No pure healers.
Right.
There'll be more classes that we'll add more classes that can do more support or more tanking, but not just pure healers, which tend to break the game and make it a requirement.
That's right. We want to make sure that when you pick a character like that, your team doesn't put a lot of pressure on you to do only that. That you have a lot of options available, and certain characters like Pip or Grok can provide healing, but it's not their main job, and you're not crying out because you don't have one.
Right. And we may step it up a little bit, and some places provide a little more healing abilities and such, but it should not be an absolute requirement.
Right.
Part of the game. What is more of a requirement is to have frontline characters with shields. That we see is a fairly vital part of the game to create a front line.
To protect a point or a payload or something like that.
Keep focusing, making sure we have enough of those.
That's right. We just want to make sure that it's not every team has to have a tank and a healer and a ranged character. We want to give you the options to really kind of build your own interesting comps.
Give us some Lori Rory. Best line of the day. Maybe we'll have a skin eventually that he takes his goggles off.
It would be cool for Pip. I've always seen him as kind of like a mad scientist.
Yeah.
That turn people into not chickens, but these crazed science
I've
creatures.
seen that skin.
Yeah, that'd be cool to add.
Well, don't we have a skin like that?
We do, actually.
Oh, it's not in the game yet, though.
It's not in the game yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
so much teasing. So much teasing.
Ranked and competitive will be coming, but that's planned for post DreamHack. So I think we have a plan for that.
Is there a way to see the amount of bombs you have on yourself? Yeah, so we'll have UI indicators that show that you're stuck by a bomb. You'll actually see a little kind of sticky bomb on the bottom of your screen looking up at you and making faces. So it'll be very clear that you're stuck by bombs. You can kind of if you're on voice chat or VGS with your teammates, say hey, help me out, shoot them off me, or you'll know they're there.
I think Lori will be the Fenrir of Paladins.
Lori, next champion?
Yeah.
Always next champion? BombKing's bombs explode immediately if they hit an enemy shield.
Yeah.
That's just, we don't want them to stick to a shield and you have to detonate them. They come in contact with the shield and they'll blow up. If BombKing dies, all of his active bombs go away except for Grumpy Bomb. Grumpy Bomb, once it's deployed, his rage knows no bounds and he will explode when he's set his mind to it. But Sticky Bombs and the Poppy Bomb that are out and deployed, those will die when BombKing dies because they're so sad. So if they're stuck on a wall or something that goes away, they'll just fall to the ground. Much like if someone hits you if your friendly knocks bombs off you, they'll just fall to the ground. They'll still be bombs. You can still detonate them. The bombs can be destroyed as well. They'll be targeted and you can blow them up. But if you kind of zap a teammate with 1 damage, it'll knock a bomb off. And you have to hit them one by one. And they'll fall to the ground. They'll still be detonatable. They'll still be bombs, but they just don't get stuck to you anymore.
Right. I see somebody's enjoying some Overwatch spamming.
They were.
Because that was the first hero shooter to have these mechanics.
To have grenade launchers.
Wait a second. There was Team Fortress and Global Agenda, I think.
Well, I think there was Team Fortress Classic. as well.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
All right, well, that looks like all the questions we have now. Hopefully this, guys, gives you a good update on what we're working on for CB27. Like we say, we're aiming for next week. This just gives you a little sneak peek of what's coming. We're all excited to see you guys at DreamHack. We will have a special DreamHack skin you can get at DreamHack. We'll also make it available in the game. So if you guys are looking for more updates, head over to paladins.com, forums.paladins.com. The Reddit community is also very active, and, of course, you can find us on Twitter for any information about the game. And that will do it for us. So we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us.